how can we manage transformative change at work caused by multiple factors, such as technology, demographics, climate change, pandemics, and globalization, while ensuring decent work for all, as well as environmental sustainability and gender equality? These are defining questions of our time, and researchers and policymakers from various professional and political sensibilities are attempting to find answers. Navigating disruptive technologies such as automation, artificial intelligence, and robotics is a major challenge facing workers today. As a social scientist who specializes in interdisciplinary research at the intersections of economy, environment, and equity, I apply myself to trying to understand how disruptive technologies might promote or obstruct gender equality. In 2018, the Royal Bank of Canada published a report called Humans Wanted: How Canadian Youth Can Thrive in the Age of Disruption. The report emphasized that in the coming decade, half of all jobs will be disrupted by automation. Some will change dramatically, others will disappear completely, replaced by jobs that are yet to be invented. So how will Canadian youth prepare for the workplace of the future? I've been working on this topic with a particular focus on gender equality for the past year, and this is a very brief summary of what I've learned. There are a lot of alarmist views about disruptive technologies. No doubt we've all heard conversations or read articles about how we lose our jobs to robots in the future. But when we analyze data and trends in automation across different sectors of employment and in different world regional contexts, we find that the introduction of automation will be gradual and incremental rather than sudden and absolute. In other words, it'll be evolutionary rather than revolutionary. And it will be influenced heavily by the economic and social realities of the local context. Automation will initially affect medium and low-skilled workers the most. Therefore, automation will result in a shift of the workforce, but not in labor reduction. The demand for qualified human resources with adaptive skill sets will continue to grow in the future. In addition to economic considerations, in other words, that the economic benefits of introducing disruptive technologies must exceed the cost of human labor, automation will be motivated by environmental, health, and safety concerns. As an example, in Asian countries, COVID-19 has provided the biggest impetus for the automation of industries such as electronics and garment manufacturing. And women, who are the majority of low and medium skilled workers in these sectors, will bear the biggest brunt of this shift. People of all genders will face challenges in navigating automation. For example, globally, women hold a majority of administrative, secretarial, bookkeeping, and data entry jobs. And many of these jobs will be replaced by technology within the next 10 to 20 years. On the other hand, our analysis shows an increasing demand in foundational skills, such as critical thinking, strong writing, social perceptiveness, active listening, and complex problem solving. Global competencies such as cultural awareness and fluency in multiple languages will also be in high demand. And these are skills that workers trained in arts and humanities and the social sciences are already using quite extensively in the workforce, and they will continue to be valuable in the future. Very generally speaking, the more cognitive and variable one's job is, the more difficult it will be to automate. So things like empathy, patience, conflict resolution, active listening, skills that larger numbers of women ironically tend to acquire due to entrenched social norms and hierarchies, will be in higher demand in the future. So to look at it from a different perspective, there are large numbers of men in jobs at higher risk of automation in fields such as construction, transportation, and manufacturing. So in the future, more men may want to train for careers in fields like nursing, counseling, speech therapy, education, to name just a few, that require so-called soft skills, since these are occupations that are also at far lower risk of automation. The biggest challenge for women when it comes to automation is that they are underrepresented in managerial jobs and in executive positions, which tend to be both most well-paid and least at risk of automation. Men tend to gain management experience at an earlier age than women. As you can see, even among young Canadians aged 20 to 29, an employed man is almost twice as likely to be in a management position as a woman. This early divide compounds over the length of people's careers and makes it more difficult for women to catch up. This is one of the biggest challenges that disruptive technologies present for gender equality. And if you come to Western, which I hope you will, you can learn more about what we can do to address it. Thank you very much for listening.